Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, good morning, and a very warm welcome to each and every one of you who's tuned into Pakistan TV and are watching world this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to be SHAHZAD this time with me. I'm really lucky. I've been joined by my wonderful colleague, happens to be Miss EESHA REHAN. For each and every one of you who's out there, we hope and pray that everybody out there is doing wonderfully well and that you're ready to kickstart your day with us. But it's really getting cold over in Islamabad, and I just can't hold that back. But let me ask my wonderful colleague whether how she's been doing on a fine Tuesday, very cold morning over here in Islamabad. So hello Isha, assalamu alaikum. How are you feeling today?
Walaikum assalam, Shahzad. I feel absolutely great, and you know what? I do not feel cold actually. I feel like I feel very warm and it's very pleasant, but I feel like I'm slightly gaslighting you because I did read a report last night which said that it might lead to snow falling in Lahore, in Islamabad in the upcoming few weeks in January. I mean,
yeah, I read that article too. You know, and it said that the temperatures are going to be sub-zero and it might actually snow, and it has actually snowed in Islamabad in the past as well. I mean, not that very regularly, but I think it was somewhere around
2007.
Yeah, 2007. I think it was my university time back then. But it's not that. I think it's just that from the back it feels like, you know, even within a suit that you're not really very comfortable. But for people who are out there, ladies and gentlemen, I just have a very humble request to each and every one of you. If God forbid you're suffering from influenza or flu or any such viral illness, first of all, may you get well soon. But please make sure that you do not shake hands or hug people or do not let them close you or just wear a mask, because that will protect others. Because I do know for a fact that how eventually I'm getting into flu now, and I do remember that one gentleman that I actually came across. So please make sure that you do that. But let's get started with what do we have in stores for you. I mean, it's going to be a fantastic show, but let's move on towards the highlights first. First, we will be talking about United States now. They're imposing 25% tariff on countries doing business with Iran. So US President Donald Trump said that he had imposed a 25% tariff on goods from countries with commercial ties to Iran, a move that could put pressure on Tehran as anti-government protests enter a third week. Trump said on social media that the tariff was effective immediately without offering details of what constituted doing businesses with Iran. China is Iran's largest trading partners, followed by Iraq, the United Arab Emirates, Turkey and India. The new tariff comes after Trump threatened to intervene militarily if Tehran killed protesters. Lievit said President Trump consistently keeps all options open, including airstrikes, which he described as one of many possibilities available to the commander-in-chief.
And Shahzad, regarding that developing issue, China and Turkey have given a response, which I will be telling you guys. China and Turkey have both warned against foreign interference in Iran, saying that outside involvement could worsen instability in Iran and across the wider Middle East. China's foreign ministry said it opposes foreign interference in Iran's internal affairs following comments by US President Donald Trump threatening military action if Iranian protesters were harmed. Speaking at a regular press briefing, the spokesperson said that China opposes the use of threat of force of international relations and urged all parties to act in ways that promote peace and stability in the Middle East. She did add that China hopes that the Iranian government and people will overcome the current difficulties and maintain stability in the country, and that is what all we hope for as well.
Exactly, and where we've spoken about China and Turkey extending all-out support for Iran, ladies and gentlemen, Iran has actually summoned European envoys over backing of protests, where they say that Iran, certainly when they have summoned diplomats in Tehran representing France, Germany, Italy and the United Kingdom to object to what it described as support by those countries for the protests that have shaken the Islamic Republic. The country's foreign ministry said that the diplomats were shown a video of the damage caused by rioters and were told that their governments should withdraw official statements supporting the protesters. In Paris, the French foreign ministry confirmed that European ambassadors had been summoned by Iran. Iranian officials have accused the US and Israel of backing what they describe as armed rioters who have carried out several attacks in public places nationwide. Meanwhile, European Parliament President Roberta Metsola announced that the body has banned all Iranian diplomats and representatives from the assembly's premises following a deadly crackdown on protests in Iran.
And next up, yet another failure for India, not actually a big surprise for anyone. India's space ambitions have suffered a major setback as the Indian Space Research Organization has failed in its latest polar satellite launch vehicle mission. The failure has forced the ISRO to initiate a detailed review of flight data related to the EOS and-1 satellite launch. The Indian Space Research Organization confirmed that the mission encountered a technical anomaly preventing it from proceeding as planned. According to the ISRO chairman, the launch vehicle exhibited unexpected behavior during the flight, ultimately leading to the mission's failure. And yeah, we do know that how India is suffering on a technical level. And yeah, I mean, if they keep trying to send space missions that are unapproved globally, this is going to happen.
Exactly. Well, not just that. I don't think that it's a nicer way to put it, but it's just unfortunate to see how probably they might have to revisit their standard operating procedures. And so in flight, there's been quite a lot of things which have gone down for India. So I think that's really unfortunate. But now, I mean, there's another story building up, and it actually shows the path that India would want to take, because the Taliban regime has posted a senior envoy to New Delhi, exposing India's growing willingness to quietly engage with a regime internationally condemned for brutal human rights abuses, including the systematic oppression of women and minorities. Despite claiming it has not formally recognized the Taliban, India's acceptance of the Taliban diplomatic representative undermines its own rhetoric on democratic values and human rights, raising serious questions about New Delhi's double standards. The move appears calculated to win favor with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's government at a time when India is under pressure for Pakistan and the international community over regional security and militancy spilling out of Afghanistan. And believe you me, for all our people who are out there, for the kind of skirmishes that India has been involved in, and the May conflict that has taken place, and how Pakistan has come out and made sure that that we will certainly be defending the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Pakistan, and now they have been using Afghanistan as a proxy. I think that in days to come, India is actually heading towards becoming another Afghanistan in the region.
But you know what's in store for Pakistan is how President Asif Ali Zardari is shining on a diplomatic level. He is embarking on a 4-day official visit to Bahrain from today. He will be accompanied by a high-level delegation. During the visit, the president will hold meetings with King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa during the Bahrain and the Crown Prince Salman bin Hamad Al Khalifa. The discussions will focus on bilateral, regional and international issues of mutual interest. The visit seeks to reinforce Pakistan's long-standing cooperation with the brotherly Gulf nation while expanding opportunities of collaboration in trade. And we do hope this visit is very fruitful, and we do expect it to be as usual.
And the meeting certainly will be wonderful with the King Hamad bin Isa Al Khalifa. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the diplomatic ascent that we've been talking about Pakistan. Because today, over here on World This Morning, we will be in conversation with the Kazakh ambassador to Pakistan, and we will be speaking about how Pakistan and Kazakhstan has made sure that they will certainly be doing wonderfully well in days to come. And why are we, so excited? I think it's because of the fact that since 2003, the president has actually was not been able to visit Pakistan, and His Excellency will be visiting Pakistan. There's quite a lot of cooperation which has taken place, may it be education, may it be the law enforcement agencies, may it be the businesses. So quite a lot to talk about.
And next up, we will be talking about how Pakistan is once again shining in the realm of economy. It is no longer being viewed through the lens aid, but through the investment lens. The Special Investment Facilitation Council has introduced a reform-driven, investor-friendly framework, and the United Kingdom has re-established its development partnership with Pakistan after 8 long years. And it is said that the bilateral trade between Pakistan and the United Kingdom is going to reach up to $5.5 billion. This is a mass pounds, 5.5 billion pounds, obviously, and yeah, it's going to be a massive investment, and we're excited about the outcomes.
Exactly. Well, just yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, obviously I will take advantage of this opportunity and bring in cricket, where it was unfortunate to see, or for the fans of Mohammad Rizwan, who was actually called out, during the match while he was he was making sure that he's going to score well for his team Renegades. He was, I think, at 26 on 23 deliveries, a strike rate of 100 point something, and he's been very consistent with his strike rate, and that's not the strike rate that you would usually expect in a T20 international game. We will be speaking about it, whether is it tactical whether it was because of the slow strike rate of Mr. Mohammad Rizwan
And
that
yeah,
he was
that
being
was-
called out. This is the third instance in the Big Bash leash, Big Bag leash, Big Bash league.
And
That's quite a tongue
You know, speaking
twister.
about big, this
Yeah.
was a big, long list of highlights today. With that, we will be heading out towards a short break, so stay tuned. We will
Yeah,
be right
well, this
back.
morning.
Well, this morning.
Big Bash. Right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. So without wasting your time, ladies and gentlemen, you know, this very important conversation is set to take place, and as we have given it away in the highlights as well, that how the Honorable President of Kazakhstan will be visiting in the first half of this year in 2026. That too, since 2003, that you know, the President didn't really make a visit of Kazakhstan. And this information was supposed to be given away by the Foreign Office. I'm very
But
sorry.
yeah, this is
But
first
we're very
from
lucky
our
that we
end.
have been joined by the ambassador of Kazakhstan over here in Pakistan. He's one of our very dear friends. He's been a very regular on our show, and he's always taken out time for our show, and precisely for our show, which actually does give us a lot of respect and love for our Kazakhstan brothers and sisters, and for him himself as well. He happens to be His Excellency, Mr. YERZHAN KISTAFIN. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum. Good morning. How are you?
Good, good, alhamdulillah. And you?
Absolutely perfect. Thank you so much for joining us, Your Excellency. And it's always wonderful to have you in the studio, for you to take out time. But let's get started with how the last time when you were here, we do know for a fact how Pakistan was the first ones to recognize Kazakhstan in 1991.
Yeah.
It's a landlocked area, and how we've offered our ports. But now quite a lot of initiatives have been taken or taking place, since we do know that the Honorable President of Kazakhstan will be visiting Pakistan.
Yeah. In fact, you know, when I just joined our mission back in 2021, I was clearly instructed that we need to elevate cooperation with the brotherly Pakistan to a brand new level. So within these last 5 years, my team and I, we've been working hard to boost our cooperation. And I'm really glad to say, alhamdulillah, last year, for example, was full of different events. We organized the largest ever business forum, which took place in Karachi. We had more than 500 participants. From Kazakhstan, we had a delegation of 150 business people. We signed commercial contracts for about $200 million US. Then in Islamabad, we organized the first ever forum of universities. We invited 10 leading universities from Kazakhstan to visit Pakistan, to establish contacts, and inshallah this year we are going to, you know, to announce that we are planning to establish Center for Science and Technology, Cultural Center, Center for Joint Theological Research. So many things are taking place, in particular in education, because what we believe is that education is future, and we should be focused specifically on our young generations. This is extremely important. Apart from that, we are also, for example, focused on developing our sports diplomacy. Last year, our mini football federations, futsal federations, signed an MOU. Last year, we had a delegation of our chess federation. We invited our delegation from our national wrestling called Kazakh, and many other things are taking place. Apart from that, our foreign minister, for the first time ever, paid an official visit to your beautiful capital. He was joined our Minister of Trade, Minister of Transport, people from our IT ministry, Agricultural ministry. We held our first session of our joint working groups on IT and telecommunications, on agriculture. So alhamdulillah, a lot of things are taking place, and the main thing is that to contribute to substantial, you know, program of the visit of our president.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to know this as well, that there's quite a lot of things happening place on the cooperation front. And we do know for a fact how our, you know, civil leadership over here and your civil leadership over there in Kazakhstan is really ambitious. And we would want to chase the targets of $1 billion in trade, and with, you know, with ports being available to Kazakhstan. So with all of these delegations coming in, certainly makes it look like as if these initiatives will help us to reach that barrier, or, you know, kind of reach that landmark or goal that we have. But how do you think that, you know, that Pakistan, probably, you know, the government bodies in Kazakhstan, or in which areas they really need to focus to make sure that we actually are not ambitious but rather realistic in $1 billion?
You know, you are absolutely right. I would say the top priority that we should be focused on is transport and logistics.
Yes.
Kazakhstan is the largest landlocked country in the world, and we need access to the warm waters. In general, Central Asia is a landlocked region, So that's why cooperation with Pakistan is of great importance to all 5 Central Asian states. And we are working hard to develop this connectivity. For example, last year, our government, the government of Uzbekistan, our Uzbek brothers, announced that we are going to construct railroads, which would connect Central Asia with Pakistan, with getting access to your seaports. Apart from that, we are also talking about developing cooperation between our seaports, because Kazakhstan has access to the Caspian Sea. And at the bank of the Caspian Sea, we have seaports as well. And of course, this kind of cooperation, if we, inshallah, establish a well-developed connectivity between Pakistan and Central Asia, we will definitely boost our trade. And when our Minister of Trade was here in Islamabad, he met with the Honorable Federal Minister for Commerce, Mr. Jam Kamal Khan, and it was agreed that in the years, in the next few years, we are going to boost our cooperation, our bilateral trade to 1 billion, inshallah.
Exactly.
I mean, that sounds absolutely wonderful. And you did mention earlier about how children are connecting on the educational level. Many Pakistani students want to go to Kazakhstan to pursue their higher education, right? So how are we really going to marinate in this people-to-people connection, and what kind of universities are Pakistanis looking forward to?
In general, 2 years ago, our Minister of Higher Education officially announced that we are going to establish 40 international campuses and branches in collaboration with universities from the United States, for example, Arizona State University, from the UK, Cardiff University, from South Korea, from Japan, from China, from Russia. So we invited the best universities in the world to establish their campuses or branches in Kazakhstan. And we would love to invite Pakistani students to study at our universities. Kazakhstan, within the last 3 decades, we had thousands of students from Pakistan. As of today, we have more than 1,000 studying right now at our universities. Most of them, they are studying at our medical universities, but we also have excellent technical universities, engineering, IT, and many others. So we, last year in April, when we held the 13th session of our Intergovernmental Joint Commission, it was decided to establish a joint working group on education. So we expect our Minister of Higher Education to pay an official visit to Islamabad to meet with his counterparts from the Ministry of Education, from the Higher Education Commission, and from many other relevant authorities, and with universities, of course, to discuss our cooperation and to boost this interaction. Because
exactly, and it was the 13th session of the GIGC, if I'm not wrong. And in addition to this, where we've spoken about education and the scholarship programs being offered to Pakistanis or Kazakh student in Pakistan, there's been quite a lot of cooperation in terms of security and making sure that that we protect the lands that we live in, that we keep the sovereignty and territorial integrity intact. So so we did see that how there was the first ever delegations visit of law enforcement agencies over here in Islamabad. How did it go, and what sort of cooperation are we looking at in the realm of law enforcement?
In general, I must say that the visit went well. And when it comes to cooperation between our law enforcement agencies, I must say that there are a number of challenges, like terrorism, extremism, radicalism, human trafficking, drug trafficking, illegal migration. So these kind of challenges that cannot be addressed alone by any country in the world. So this is why we believe that we have to join our efforts. We have to develop collective measures to address these kind of challenges. And this is the reason why our delegation, we are the first ever delegation, such a large delegation, from the Ministry of Interior, from the National Security Committee, from the Ministry of Defense, so on and so forth. So this delegation was headed by the sector of the Security Council. They discussed a broad range of issues in terms of our security cooperation. And this year, we expect your delegation to visit Kazakhstan to further, strengthen this kind of interaction, because we believe that direct interaction between relevant authorities can contribute greatly into, developing so-called secure environment for further cooperation between our brotherly nations. And it's not only about our bilateral cooperation, it is also about regional cooperation. Central Asia, South Asia, this is very important. We need security and stability. It's a backbone for cooperation.
Exactly, and while we were speaking of this, obviously Pakistan has been doing phenomenally well in terms of information technology. We have been exporting quite a lot of information technology technology related products. And then on the other hand, obviously we have made our skies really smart because of the JF-17 tender. So I think such cooperations need to take place as well in terms of defense as well. You know, so are we working on that direction? Is Pakistan looking at Kazakhstan, Kazakhstan looking at Pakistan? Because JF-17 tenders been phenomenally well.
So we 2 years ago, we established a joint working group on IT and telecommunications, and we are working. What we see is that there is a tremendous potential for developing cooperation in fintech, artificial intelligence, and many other things, you know, iCloud, so on and so forth. When it comes to cooperation in the defense industry, I must say we are also doing quite well.
Wow.
In 2017, we established a joint military technical cooperation commission, and they're meeting on a regular basis. This year, we're going to have another session to discuss and to boost our cooperation in the defense industry. So what I'm saying is that, in fact, we have managed to activate each and every area of our bilateral cooperation.
Exactly, and we do know for a fact that, you know, how the exercises have been taking place. The Dostiyam exercise, I think, was 2 months ago. But Your Excellency, it has always been wonderful to actually have you over here. And you know, you're a true representative of Kazakhstan. And we, alhamdulillah, take pride in being representatives of Pakistan as well. But I got to know that, you know, this is your last year over here.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You've always been really kind, fantastic, and you've always taken out time for our program, for our channel. What have you enjoyed being over here in Pakistan? And, you know, so, you know, maybe the people-to-people connections, the way that Pakistan is known for its hospitality. Why don't you just shed some light on how your 2021 till 2026 has been in Pakistan?
So in fact, it was an incredible journey for me, personally and professionally. I think that it was a great blessing of Allah Almighty to serve in such a beautiful country as your country. And it was a great experience for me professionally. I learned a lot. It was a great school for me. I will never forget my 5 years in your beautiful country. And the most memorable part of, you know, of my staying in your country is people. The most hospitable nation in the world. And when I say it, I mean it. And I really enjoyed, because as you know, within these 5 years, I have traveled a lot. I visited all your provinces. I've been to major cities of your beautiful country. And what I see is that there is a great, tremendous potential. And we wish sincerely to Pakistan stability, prosperity. And what we see is that in the years to come, inshallah, Pakistan will become a very important partner, not only for Central Asia, but for the entire world. And we hope, inshallah, that our relations, you know, in the years to come will be strengthening and growing and getting stronger.
Inshallah, and that's exactly what we wish and pray for our for Kazakhstan and for Kazakhstan's brothers and sisters. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for being with us. I hope that it's not the last time.
No.
I would want you to join us once the President is over here, the Honorable President of Kazakhstan is in Pakistan, and if you could have a conversation right after that.
You know, the thing is that Pakistan TV is going, inshallah, to sign an MOU with the leading TV channel from Kazakhstan.
Oh my God.
So I will be back to discussing our cooperation.
I think that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Your Excellency,
Thank you
for
so
being
much.
with us.
Thank
And
you.
for people who are out there, ladies and gentlemen, it's the diplomatic ascent. We do see, you know, for a fact that how, you know, the civil leadership, the military diplomacy from both the sides have actually done phenomenally well, and how, you know, in days to come, certainly, you know, not just in South Asia or Central Asia, Kazakhstan and Pakistan will be those two emerging powers. It will be very useful for the rest of the globe. And with that, I think EESHA over here has a very recent development from the May 2025 conflict.
I'm sure we do have a developing news that we are going to share with you. That is how China has confirmed that its J-10CE fighter jet achieved its first combat success in May last year when Pakistan Air Force shot down 7 Indian fighter jets, including French-made Rafale fighters during the May 2025 conflict. It was a 4-day brief but intense Pakistan-India conflict during which Pakistan used these Chinese fighter jets. The 7 Indian fighter jets, including the state-of-the-art French Rafale aircrafts, were shot down by the Pakistan Air Force during the aerial war. And citing China's State Administration of Science and Technology and Industry for National Defense, the Chinese official media reported that the Chinese jets shot down multiple aircrafts in the mid-May conflict. And yeah, that it has been cited by multiple international organizations, and it is stating how the state-of-the-art Chinese tech combined with the military strength of Pakistani skill set is going to definitely
exactly.
bring a lot of boom in the world.
For all of those people out there, building fighter jets, well, if you want it to be very super, or if you want its supremacy in the skies, please make sure that you give it to our PF pilots. Ladies and gentlemen, with that, we're heading out to the short break. Don't go anywhere, because when you come back from Kazakhstan, we'll be taking you to United Kingdom, where our trade has actually been at 5.5 billion pounds now, very recently. Quite a lot which has been done. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. We are
World this morning. Alright, welcome back to all the lovely people who stayed tuned for this insightful segment about how Pakistan's economy is once again in the spotlight. We are not just being looked at through the lens of aid right now, we are being looked at through the lens of economic growth and potential and investor-friendly confidence, which is being boosted across the globe because of Pakistan. The Special Investment Facilitation Council has stated and introduced a special reform-driven investor-friendly framework for people to invest into Pakistan. And not just that, the United Kingdom and Pakistan has embarked and re-established its development partnership after 8 long years, and the bilateral trade has reached up to a historic 5.5 billion pounds. Over 200 British companies have been settled into Pakistan, and yeah, we can see our economy boosting. We are on an economic ascent, as Shahzad always likes to highlight. With that, we do have a special guest who will be highlighting.
Somebody's missing me.
Oh yeah, somebody's missing. It was probably me when I remembered the economic ascent. But yeah, with that, we do have a guest who will be talking to us about all these details that Pakistan is brewing in confidence regarding. He happens to be Dr. NASIR IQBAL, who is a senior economist. Thank you so much for joining us today on this show. How are you feeling today?
I'm good.
All right, it's absolutely great to have you today. We do see how Pakistan is witnessing a renewed confidence in our economy, in our investment. How is this partnership with the United Kingdom, renewed after 8 years, going to actually bring in a lot of confidence and boost our investment levels and just a general energy for Pakistan's economy?
Yeah, thank you so much for taking a very important issue of Pakistan development. You know that a couple of days back, the Prime Minister has established a special committee to review the export progress of the country, and we aim to have around 60 billion export in next 3 to 5 years. That's the target that the government of Pakistan had set. On the backdrop of this these target, definitely the government of Pakistan did a lot of work to provide a kind of environment that is really conducive for the investor. And one of the example, as you just cited, that the UK and so many other countries are showing a kind of interest in Pakistan to establish their businesses, especially in a various sector, like in the minerals, in the agriculture, in the IT sector, in the service sector. So these are all sectors open for the investment to the multilaterals and the MNCs across the globe, and especially as you mentioned that the UK shows a keen interest in terms of reviving their ties with Pakistan on the investment side rather than the aid side. So this is like a very promising picture for all of us, as well as the key steps taken by the government of Pakistan to actually convince the global investor, like, look, we are open for investment and we provide you the avenue, we provide you the space, we provide you the facility that you are looking globally. And that's where you highlighted the role of SIFC, role of BOI and other ministries. Those are working rightly on the reform package to give a ease of doing business, to streamline the registration process, to ensure that the contract enforcement would be at the global standard, to ensure the quality of the product as per the need of the global community. So these are all initiatives basically aims to achieve the target, those are as mentioned in the Udan Pakistan document, as well as 13 5 years plan and the recent government key interest in terms of reviving the trade. So this year basically is a turning point for all of us, because if we fail to...
Dr. NASIR, I would want, I'm very sorry for interjecting, But I want to bring this to my audience's attention as well, and kindly ask you as well that, when we speak about these significant partnerships globally, I would want to speak about how